All right, I hate asking for help. I'm not asking for any handouts, but I'm a small business owner.
Except you don't hate it, and you are begging for a handout. Let me say to you what other people have been too kind, too gentle, and too tender to say. Fuck you. Because you are on here now looking me in my black face as a 92%er, as a woman, and as a veteran of the United States Army, and asking me for support after knowingly voting to hurt and harm me and my family. Because you believe that your privilege as a white man in this country would keep you safe and protected.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, guys, we're going to be reacting to a video of a white man who proudly voted for Trump, but right now he came out on TikTok to complain that Trump's new tariffs are affecting his small business, and therefore he was just urging people on TikTok to support his small business and to help him out. Yeah,
right, but Americans weren't taking this lightly, both white and black Americans, and they came out to read him his rights regarding his votes and his view in general. So what did they say, guys? Let's listen to this video and then we come back and talk about it. You can also leave us a comment on what you think about this episode, and also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel. Let's watch.
All right, I hate asking for help. I'm not asking for any handouts, but I'm a small business owner that is directly being affected by the 104% tariff that has been put on China. I import alloy wheels for cars, and I do somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 15 containers a year, which is a small business in regards to this industry. At 104%, I am absolutely going to implode and will not last 6 months. So with that said, I'm asking, is there anybody out there that has connections with manufacturing facilities, specifically alloy wheels, either in the United States or outside in these lesser tariffed countries like Mexico, Indonesia, Thailand, India? I need to find another source. I've emailed a lot of these companies and cannot get a response. And I just don't know if it's because I'm a small business or what exactly it is. So if anybody's out there that can help or shed some light, maybe provide some information that would be helpful, I would really greatly appreciate it, because if not, it's just a small business here that's going to go under, and I'll be back to digging ditches again, which I'm not scared to do, but it's a little harder to do with a wife, 2 kids, and at 45 years old. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions. It's very much appreciated. All right, I hate asking for help. I'm not asking for any handouts, but I'm a small business owner.
Except you don't hate it, and you are begging for a handout. Let me say to you what other people have been too kind, too gentle, and too tender to say. Fuck you. Because you are on here now looking me in my black face as a 92%er, as a woman, and as a veteran of the United States Army, and asking me for support after knowingly voting to hurt and harm me and my family. Because you believe that your privilege as a white man in this country would keep you safe and protected, and you would not be harmed at all in any way, shape, form, or fashion by these fucked, made up policies that Trump has. Surprise, a fucking prize. Oh, I'm a small business owner. I got a family and kids. Bitch, I got a family too. And you didn't give a damn about that when you decided to vote for this administration. He was clear about everything he was going to do. Oh, well, he was just joking. No. 2025. Read Project 2025. Nope. Listen to the information that's being shared across the internet. Nope. Listen to the shit that Kamala. Nope. None of it resonated. And even now, we are just how many days into the administration, and because now that shit is knocking on your front door, you didn't come on and say, ooh, I fucked up. He's a bad guy. This administration is shit. No, you want to skip over acknowledging all of that and simply ask the rest of us to help you because you fucked up. Your skin is white, but you're not wealthy and you're not rich, and we told you he didn't give a fuck about you.
All right, I hate asking for help. I'm not asking for any handouts, but I'm a small business owner that is directly being affected by the 104% tariff that has been put on China.
So you saw this.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
And thought, fuck yeah, that's my guy. You saw this.
You gotta see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
And still, fuck yeah, that's my guy. I'm sure you've heard of him doing this.
He says, you're not gonna be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Still, you said, that guy's got my vote. Have you by chance seen this video?
This so-called administration error has destroyed my family's happiness, my children's innocence. Kilmar, if you can hear me, I'm still fighting for you.
That's a video of a wife crying over her husband, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was taken from his home unjustly, unconstitutionally, and without cause, and deported over to an El Salvador concentration camp. That's what it is. And hundreds more like him that do not belong there. And still you said, fuck yeah, this is my guy. I still back this dude. You chose to vote for someone who would hurt people you hate. Not until it hits you and your wallet, all of a sudden you have regrets, or you're not asking for a handout, but can someone give me a handout, please?
All right, I hate asking for help. I'm not asking for any handouts, but I'm a small business owner that is directly being affected by the 104% tariff that has been put on China.
Ooh, let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
The one demographic in this country I feel no sympathy for if they suffer is the white male conservative, because you don't care about me. You don't care about the greater good. And you have it for a very long time. White people in specific have been voting majority conservative since 1964 when Lyndon B. Johnson was elected as president. You tell me you're a business owner, which leads me to believe that you're a little bit smart. You didn't see what Trump did in his first term? He was terrible for business. He was terrible for the middle class in his first term. He was terrible for the little guy. And what's annoying about this is you will learn nothing because people tried to check you on that video and you learned nothing.
I love this for you. I love this. Nice. I love this for you. I love to see you fail. I love to see your family be affected and hurt because you voted for Trump. Yeah, I voted for Trump. Absolutely.
If Donald Trump somehow waved a magic wand and ran for re-election in 2028, you would vote for him out of a cardboard box on the side of the street that he put you in. And therein lies the issue. You'd rather starve than hold hands with the oppressed.
I find it interesting that y'all created a story, you spun a narrative around what it was Donald Trump was saying and what he said he was or wasn't going to do for y'all. Because nowhere at all in Donald Trump's platform did he in any way discuss manufacturing other than through tariffs. There was no specific timeline, there was no policy plan, there was nothing. What you did was make a calculation, and a dog shit one at that. And now that you are realizing that that is the case, you are demanding space and grace from everybody who had tried to tell you that that was going to happen. And the reason you allowed yourself to spin that story to make that calculation is the same reason white people always do. It's that we rely on our whiteness to protect us, to insulate us from these systems and institutions, from the consequences of decisions like this. Because it always historically has in the past. Because these systems and institutions have been in place to protect us, to uphold the white supremacy nature of this country. But you are now finding that we have entered a new era where that is no longer the case. That it's not just being a white man. You need to be a rich white man. And what's funny is these are the types of conversations y'all hate to have, right? Call it woke and this DIA stuff, and like you guys lose your minds over it. But what's funny is your inability to have these conversations is what allows you to miss the forest for the trees. It allows you to completely miss the larger understanding of not only why we are here, but how this is going to keep going. Like, what's going to happen from here? Because I can promise you, this is going to get way worse.
I love this for you. I love this. Nice. I love this for you. I love to see you fail. I love to see your family be affected and hurt because you voted for Trump. Yeah, I voted for Trump. Absolutely. Did I know he was going to increase the tariffs? Yes, I did. So to wish ill on someone and to love the fact that they're suffering, to love the fact that their family is being negatively affected because I didn't vote the same way that you did is fuck.
So by voting for Trump, you actually did want to hurt other families and people in general. You just didn't think it was going to affect your own family. And you know what? I actually voted against my own interests to help you and to help other Americans. My husband and I are already homeowners. We actually have 2 houses on the property and we rent the other one out. I run a business that has no physical product. It's just digital downloads. My husband is a lawyer, an immigration lawyer to be exact. So his business is through the roof right now. Kamala Harris, who I voted for, would have gotten rid of TikTok, which is one of the biggest sources of my income. My husband's in the Guard, so we have military health insurance. Literally nothing that she was proposing was going to help me and my family personally, but I wanted other people to be taken care of. I didn't want people to have their human rights violated. I wanted other people to have the chance to be homeowners as well. I wanted American businesses to thrive because most of them depend on some kind of raw material or product coming from China. I'm not saying any of this to brag. I'm just saying that I made a moral choice based on what was best for everyone, not what was best for me. And I got on this platform every day before the election to try to get people to change their minds. But you didn't listen. We all tried so hard to help you, but your desire to hurt other groups was more important. So now we love this for you, and I truly hope you get everything you voted for.
For Trump. Yeah, I voted for Trump. Absolutely. Did I know he was going to increase the tariffs? Yes, I did.
So, you voted for Trump, and you said what's fucked up is people wishing that your business would fail. No, what's fucked up is you don't realize you are the reason your business is failing. You said you knew he was going to put these tariffs on your business, but you thought he would build up infrastructure. I don't remember Trump saying that. And if I'm wrong, please show me any clip, any writing, anything, anywhere that Trump said that he was going to build up infrastructure to bring manufacturing back to the United States. Businesses, because of his tariffs, cannot build new manufacturing here now because they can't afford to, and they don't know what the future will hold and what's going to happen with the market. It is amazing to me and to a lot of people who voted for Harris that you all sit up here and vote for the very thing that Trump told you he was going to do. And now you get out here on this World Wide Web, on Beyonce's internet, and want to sit up here and complain that you are actually getting what you voted for. Imagine that. Like nobody told you this was coming. Sir, you are the reason your business and your family, you put your family's life and livelihood in jeopardy and your own business in jeopardy. No matter if Democrat or left-leaning people voted for Harris or not, you were more worried about seeing a black woman like me sitting in that White House than you were about your business and your livelihood, because Trump told you exactly what he was going to do. And like I said before, please find a clip or a reel or anything that Trump said that he was going to set up in the infrastructure. You might have assumed that because that should be common sense, but you're talking about a 34 indicted criminal who had to take a test that says man, woman, child, okay? Who's the oldest presidents in our history. So I am one of those 92% who voted to help you, because Harris would have gave you a loan to help your company. Harris was trying to stop the price gouging of some of these companies. Harris would have done this. But of course, you don't want that black woman in that White House. That made more important to you, your hatred, more important to you than your livelihood. So do we care that you are failing because you voted this way? No. We do not. I don't wish this upon you. You, let me say it clearly, did this to yourself. Stop blaming other people or get angry with other people for the acts you did to yourself. Okay? It's almost like seeing a bank robber go in and robbing a bank, and then when he get arrested and the people are laughing that he get arrested, now he's mad at the people who are laughing at him getting arrested, talking about, well, I own my family and all this stuff, and when you the one that did this to yourself. Do you get that? You voted for Trump. You knew he was going to place these tariffs before you voted for him. Why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? We don't wish anything on you, and no matter what anybody wish, we cannot do more than what you already done to yourself. So instead of you complaining to us about acting in your own worst interest, why don't you do something like vote in your best interest and not vote for your hate or your misogyny? You know, try that. Try voting what's in your best interest of you and your family. Because I'm quite sure right now you wish you had Harris loans, right? That she wanted to give you. I'm quite sure you did. Or health care, or your grandparents having their Social Security. Because it's a mess. Trump has gutted the Social Security Administration where I live. This is what you all did, destroying our health care, cutting their Medicaid. But you continue to vote for these Republican politicians who do this. But I agree with you. Republicans are great at messaging. They are wonderful at messaging. They tell you they are the fiscally responsible party, and they have caused every depression and Great Recession in American history. But they still say they're the party of fiscal responsibility. Make that make sense. But you see how backwards their messages are? They've caused every Great Recession, including Trump, who's going to cause the next Great Depression that you voted for. But instead of y'all doing something simple like a little research, or maybe not just listen to right-wing politics, but listen to it all, having some discernment, and maybe not necessarily listen to any of that, and looking up the actual laws and the things that they're passing to know what you're actually voting for. That part. Okay? When we say hate won't win, what do we mean? Yeah, you can vote for hate, but you won't win. Do you get that? This was not our fault. Your family is suffering because of your bad decision making. You voted for Trump, and don't tell me that you're not racist because you voted for one. Either you are, you agree with what he was doing, or it wasn't that much of a problem for you and you didn't care that he was. Either one of it go, you voted for a 34 indicted criminal who's an SA offender and a bigot. And right now, I don't think Trump cares about any American. I want you to look at all that he's done. He's almost shut down the CDC. So if we get another major outbreak, they don't tell how many people may be unalive by that. I don't think he cares about any of us. He got rid of health care, Social Security, VA benefits, our children's education, all of that, just so that billionaires like him can get a tax break. Do you honestly think the man you voted for gives a damn about you and your business? You think he did this before you and your business? Please, people, think. Because you keep backing this stuff and act like what you see before your own eyes that we see is not real. We do not worship your almighty Trump, and we're not waiting for patiently because it got to get worse. Let me let y'all in on a clue. It never had to get worse. We didn't need these tariffs. He's having a terrible war with China, and China's going to win. And I'll tell you why China's going to win. Because China manufactures everything for us. We don't really manufacture stuff for them. What we get from them is agricultural type things, and they can get that from somewhere else. So China matches our tariffs, meaning that their businesses will have to buy from somewhere else. And once their business start buying from somewhere else, they don't need to come back and buy from the United States, which will put these farmers out of business. Do you realize what you've done? Not only did your vote hurt you, it hurt everybody else. Your hatred for minorities and the LGBTQ is why you won't win. Now, I'm saying this to you for your educational purposes only. So you will finally realize who your own enemy is. It's not the left. No matter what they feel or think or how they want your business to feel, we ain't doing it. We're not the ones doing it. You did this to yourself. And when you wake up and realize that, the sooner the better it will be. Okay? Do something instead of sitting up here complaining to us and begging on the internet. Why don't you try voting, calling your representatives, huh? Who voted to give him more power over these damn tariffs? Why don't you do something like 2026, vote for Democrats and stop voting against your own damn interests? Do that. Besides complaining. Yeah, you can look for a new supplier, but there's no guarantee that they won't put a tariff on them too. Next time, think. Vote for your interest and not your hate. MAGA.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the episode we just played you, yeah? You know, I feel like it's very important that, and I feel like it's very good that the speakers today reminded this person that, remember, this is what you voted for and this is what you wanted. You're getting exactly what you voted for. Because the man says that, yeah, he voted for Trump and he was very happy at the time he was voting for Trump. And he further goes on to say that he knew Trump would bring tariffs, yeah? Only that when he was voting, he didn't know that these tariffs were going to affect him, yeah? And he's coming out on the internet right now crying, talking about how he's a father, he has 2 children and a wife. And my question exactly is, when you are voting for whoever you voted for, and right now you are the very same person who's coming out to cry, meaning whatever you believed to be and whatever is happening right now is not what you expected. So at the time of voting, you are voting because
you thought other groups of people were the ones who would have been squeezed out of the economy, right? And as he said, he is saying himself regarding his small business, particularly the spare parts that he's dealing in, the tires and all of that. He knew that tariffs would affect him, but he didn't know how much it would affect him. So like, and there was also one, you know, this one you can't even feel bad for him, because there are those that the Trump administration was claiming that there were stupid white Americans who were uneducated who voted for him.
What is
this one's excuse? This one knew exactly what Trump had said in the campaign trials regarding his small business, yet he still went on ahead to vote for
Trump. And another thing, guys, there's a veteran lady who was speaking, the Black American woman who was speaking, and she says she told him to go, you know, you can just complete the sentence for yourself. And she said this, the reason why she was talking like that is because she herself was a veteran, and when she was voting, as we said earlier, as we normally say, before any candidate goes onto the ballot box to convince you to vote, they come and sell you their policies, yeah? And she reminded him, nowhere did Kamala Harris talk about you know, taking jobs away from veterans. Her policies didn't support the kind of policies that right now Donald Trump is implementing that is affecting Americans in huge numbers, and especially those ones who are in the middle class and the little people. They're really getting affected, and they were warned, you know. So they were told.
Even Michelle Obama, by the way, she spoke up at I don't know if it was in a campaign trial or where she spoke, but she told Americans that if they were to make the decision they made, only the bodies who are billionaire to the administration were the ones who are gonna be catered for. Right. But if you are poor, if you were middle class, or if you were, you wanted to, you know, okay, in short, if you are not a billionaire in that class, you are not part of the plan for this administration.
Right. And guys, let me just remind you of a person called Mark Cuban. I don't know how many of you know him. And this guy, he's a businessman, and he was talking, he was talking and telling people about the truth. Okay, he's a big businessman, well known in America, you know. So when he speaks, you best believe him, And when Trump was running for presidency, he warned Americans and told him, I've dealt with this man as a businessman, and they can tell you not to trust him. Don't vote for him, because there's a way he deals in greed, and this, like he warned Americans beforehand, you know. And right now all he can do is sit back and say, I told you so, you know, because people did what they wanted to do anyway. And right now it's looking kind of funny that the very same people are coming to the 92 who did whatever they were supposed to do, and the rest they're coming out to talk to them and telling them that please support my small businesses because I'm getting affected, and I have everybody has a family, you know.
And then, you know, at at the end of the day, okay, asking for help is not a bad thing. But if you
How
know
did you
that,
get
how
there?
did you get there in the first place? If you know that your actions were the ones that is making the whole country go down on their knees right now, the least you can do is acknowledge your part
and apologize.
Acknowledge your part and apologize, because you know what gets people angry all the time is because people like this small businessman, they come with that audacity and say that yes, I did vote for Trump and I did know what his policies are. However, I didn't need your help.
Yeah, I need your help because I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know it would, you know, it would affect us this way, or it would impact my business in this way.
Yeah.
So it means if things had gone your way and if the tides had shifted in your favor, then you'd be out here gloating and, you know, not understanding the other side, if that makes sense.
Or
you know,
other people who would have been affected by this move.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the black MAGA mom who was really rooting for Trump during the campaign seasons leading up to the election, and then recently she came out all dressed in blue, you know, talking about how she needs Black Americans' help to get her son out of prison or short prison sentence. I don't know how many of you remember that story. So it's like it's the same case with them. When they were voting, they really did believe in a cause. I want to believe that, because there's no way you'll actively participate in something without believing in the cause. Yeah.
And I just wish, because most of them, they really had their trust in the administration. I just wish the administration could have lived up to their expectations and at least treated them right and made the economy work for America and actually make America great.
And I do feel, to be honest, right now that I'm sitting down and thinking about it, if I put myself in their shoes, I feel like it was such a strange period where people were also living in panic because there were these wild things going on. I don't want, it starts with the WAR. I don't want to mention it right now, right? But you know what I'm saying?
People
things were happening.
Bring peace.
Yeah, and
even
there are some people.
The what?
There are some people who are looking at him as a sign of safety because of you know he's a man. He is a man, and then others were looking at him as, you know, no other country will mess with USA. I mean, tell me you didn't think about
he decided to tariff other nations, and then he found himself in a bit of a pickle.
Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section. But as I guess the only thing I can say, I guess my parting shot will be, I'm kind of happy that, you know, when you get, this is how you learn, because being told wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have affected him. If it wouldn't have affected him, he wouldn't be sympathetic to other groups of people.
Right.
But right now, they say experience is the best teacher. Of course, the only people you have
first.
Yeah, the only people you have to be worried for are his kids, because truly kids are innocent and they didn't vote for any of these
whatever is happening
their dad made. But at the end of the day, experience is the best teacher.
Next time you'll make sure
they know
to
better
vote.
whether or not they'll vote correctly.
Right.
At least they'll go in there knowing what could happen.
Right. I've heard other speakers talk about how they voted not because they were in a position where they needed Kamala to win, because it would have benefited them, because financially they're set, but they voted because for the greater good and more out of morality.
They felt like her policies looked more stable.
Not even more stable. They were looking at the bigger majority, how the both candidates were going to impact their lives. And some of them, there's a lady who was talking about actually Trump being in office really doesn't do anything for her and her husband, because they're
As a matter of
set.
fact, it's like a peak of it's a business boom for them.
Yeah, and she said, but she voted for Kamala because she did believe that she was a woman, and the other women out there who would have been implicated by you know, the other side's policies. And she also voted the other side because of black people, and she knew because Trump did mention his intentions before getting into office. He talked about how he would give more liberty to the police by, you know, switching off the cameras and whatnot. And someone who is not selfish, hearing some of those policies had to have been problematic. Exactly.
You know that it's problematic
policy. Exactly. And out of morality, it. That is why she decided to vote the way she did back then, you know.
Right.
So this guy, what is his excuse, you know? Anyway, guys, let's leave it at that. We'd like so much to hear from you. Let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinion on this, and also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, right?
Right.
Let's catch you on our next episode.